Okay. Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam Akhandam Sachidanandam Avang Manasagocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Ashraye Bhishta-Siddhaye Arthatopyadvayanandan Atita Dvaita Bhanataha Guru Naradya Vedanta Saram Vaksheyata. Okay, so we are doing the D Suparam position. Okay, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi.
Swamiji, before we start, I have two questions. Can I ask now?
Before you ask, which was the verse we had done last time?
163.
163, yes. Tira Padam, etc. Okay, what is the question? Shoot.
Swamiji, this construct of Samana Adhikarnyam and then Visheshan Vishesha Bhava, that is applicable to any language.
Attributed to?
No, it is applicable and it will apply to any language. Like whether it's Marathi, whether it's Hindi, whether it's Sanskritam, English, it's applicable in any language. This particular
it is. That will be applicable. There will be minor variations, of course, depending upon the language structure that is there. Like for example, in Samanadhikarnyam, in Sanskrit we will say, I have not mentioned that in the definition, I simplified the definition by saying Bhinna pravritti nimittanam padanam ekasmin bimbe tatparyam. Whereas if it is applicable to Sanskrit language or Indian languages, you will also, or some of the European languages also, you will have to add samana vibhaktikanam, same vibhaktis. Now that will not be applicable to English, etc. So I gave a definition which is applicable to all languages. Bhinna pravritti nimittanam padanam ekasmin bimbe tatparyam. Different words having different meanings, all referring to one and the same object. Then naturally there will be Visheshna Vishesha Bhava. Any language you take, this will be true. That's why when... Yeah?
No. Please, go ahead. Can I ask the second question?
Beg your pardon?
Can I ask the second question?
Sorry.
Can I ask the...
Ask.
Second question. And here the verb doesn't play any like much role, in this kind of construct, because...
See, the verb is important to make it a sentence. That it plays that much role only. Like when you say big blue fragrant lotus, it is understood that this is, or here is understood. That isness. You remember transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, etc. So in this case, the verb is understood. Like soyam devatattaha asti, asi, that's understood. That verb is understood there. So that much will automatically come in.
Okay.
So, Swamiji, just one more question on the same
Shoot.
topic. So, when we, in the last class, when we brought in Lakshya Lakshana Bhava, so it's either or of Vishesha Visheshna Bhava or Lakshya Lakshana Bhava. Is it either this or that?
No. See, when there is Samanadhikarnyam, Visheshna Vishesha Bhava is inevitable. Now, there will be some cases where the Vishesha Visheshna Bhava is not tenable. When it is not tenable, only then you will go for Lakshana Lakshya. Okay? Otherwise, you won't go for Lakshya. Lakshana you will not go for unless Visheshna Vishesha is not tenable.
Yes, Swamiji. And when you go for Lakshana, then at that point you discard the Visheshna.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Visheshna Vishesha Bhava has a role to play.
Yeah.
If that role is not there, then there is not, other things cannot come into the picture.
Thank you, sir.
I am muting everyone. If anyone wants to ask anything, please unmute and ask, okay? Because there's too much of other distractions coming in. Yeah. So if you want to ask any question, please unmute yourself, ask and mute yourself back.
Swamiji, you said it has a role to play. What role to play?
Role is because of the arrangement. See, if when you're saying Soham Devadatta, Soham Devadatta Asmi iti, okay? By the rule of Samanadikarnyam, Visheshna Vishesha Bhava has to come in. Then the question, that is the role it has to play. Applicable or not, we will see later. Yeah. If it is not applicable, it has a role of bringing in Lakshana Lakshya. If it is applicable, it works by itself. Big blue fragrant lotus, it works by itself. Visheshna Vishesha Bhava. What is confusing about it? I feel that people are not getting this.
Yeah, Swamiji, I wanted to know how we use Visheshna Abhava, how we negate it when we are talking about Tattvamasi. I could not relate that. I could not
Good.
teach that.
Abhi ask that question. Now don't wait for me to ask whether you have a doubt. Okay. Have you all understood Samanadikarnyam clearly?
Yes.
Definite.
That also was after when you gave the example when you said jal and all. When you are using the same word, then it clicked that you are using different words to describe the same object. Yeah.
Bhinna pravarti. Remember, see, you know what you all are doing? By the time you come to this class, it is important that you pay attention to the Sanskrit part of it also. Because I always translate the Sanskrit. It is not that I am using a Sanskrit and leaving it in the air. I have translated. Because if you remember the proper definition, then these doubts will not come up. I have said Bhinna Pravarti Nimittanam, words having its own meanings. Then it's very clear it cannot be synonymous. No? Different words having its own meanings. Different words having its own. Therefore, when the words are in Samanadikarnyam, Visheshna Vishesha Bhava has to be there or not. Give me one sentence where there is Samanadikarnyam and adjectival relationship is not there. Think. A shopping list is not Samanadikarnyam anyway. Okay, one question for the class. Why is a shopping list not Samanadikarnyam?
Because it points to different objects.
And?
Different categories.
And?
But there is only one shopping list, Swamiji.
Huh?
There is only one shopping list.
Wow.
So Swamiji, it's not pointing to the same object.
It is not pointing to the same object. Ekasmin bimbe tatparyam. A shopping list is not referring to one and the same object. Now can you all see how you all are totally ignoring definitions? How do you expect to study anything if you ignore definitions? It has words which are having different meanings, have their intention in one and the same object. So that one and the same object is important. That's why shopping list cannot become Samanadikarnya. What else is not clear? First, Samanadikaranam. I spent last class also on it. I am willing to spend this class also on it, but I want it clear. Or maybe at the end of all this, I must ask all of you to present it. Yeah. Sunita, are you clear about Samanadikaranam? Savla I am talking about.
Yes. Now I want the Visheshan for the Tattvamasi part. I could not get it.
Okay.
Samanadikaranam, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
When the words are, give me example of one sentence where you have Samanadikaranam but no adjectival relationship, no Visheshna Vishesha Bhava.
It is not possible, Swamiji.
Yes, Nandakishore, you are right, not possible.
It is not possible. How it is possible?
Exactly. It is not possible. Unless like Tattvamasi, etc.
So that has to be understood later.
Yeah. But that I have to make you all understand. Enough? Okay. So, if the sentence has Samanadikaranam, the words must have Visheshna Vishesha Bhava. The meaning of the words must be adjectival. If it is not adjectival or the adjectival relationship, whereas Sunita Savla disappeared, she asked the question.
She has come back.
I'm here only.
When the words are in Samanadikaranam, between the meaning of the words, there will be an adjectival relationship. In Soham Devadatta, I am that Devadatta, is there an adjectival relationship? The Devadatta who was a naval officer in Bombay to Devadatta who is a sadhu in Rishikesh, is there an adjectival relationship?
No.
Why not?
We are not taking the same, we are not describing the same person
Huh?
with different qualities.
Oh my God.
We are describing the same person.
Ekasmin bimbe tatparyam. When I am saying that person is me, the tatparya is one. The intention is one. You call that it is in Samanadikaranam, all right. What is happening to the Visheshna Vishesha Bhava? Can the naval officer be an adjective to a sadhu, or can a sadhu be an adjective to a naval officer? Are you understanding what it means to be an adjective? I think I have to go to basic English grammar now. What does an adjective do?
Swamiji, it qualifies the noun.
It qualifies a noun.
Ah.
Can the noun be an adjective?
No.
So here, Devadatta the sadhu, Devadatta the naval officer, both are nouns. Can they qualify each other?
No.
Are you clear about it, Sunita Savla?
Yes.
Therefore, even though the words are in Samanadikaranam, there is a problem when it comes to the adjectival relationship, which should be there, but it is not working. Then you have two options. Either to dismiss the sentence or go and see whether the sentence is implying something. Two options are available. Because the sentence is being said by a meaningful person or by the Shastra, which is even more important, you don't dismiss it, you don't ignore it, you see whether there is another implied meaning there. So the implication comes because Visheshna Vishesha Bhava, which should have been there, is not working. Are you getting that? Or not getting it? If you are not getting, don't shake your head. Say, no, I am not getting, and what you are not getting.
No, sir, I am not getting.
What are you not getting, Sashi?
Sir, for example, okay, I order a shopping list, you were saying. shopping list I order.
Sashi, shopping list example is not valid because it is not in Samanadikaranam.
Okay, it is not in Samanadikaranam, but if I am ordering all things which are to be eaten, not for cleaning or anything, does it change the...
No, it doesn't change. Because Samanadikaranam is the words have to refer to one thing alone. Your vada may be meant for eating, your pasta may be meant for eating, your upma may be meant for eating. But they are not referring to one and the same thing.
But eating is one, no? Everything is for eating. I am getting confused there. Sunita laughing. Yeah.
What is the definition of Samanadikaranam?
Ekasmin.
Tell me the definition either in Sanskrit or in English.
Yeah, they refer to the same thing. Ekasmin bimbe tatparyam.
And that ekasmin bimba is within the sentence or outside the sentence?
So ekasmin bimbe, they are all referring to eatables, no?
My question is simple, that ekasmin bimba is supposed to be within the sentence or outside the sentence?
Within the sentence.
So does upma refer to your pasta? Does your pasta refer to your idli? Does your idli refer to your vada?
No.
That means obviously they are not in Samanadikaranam.
So they are all meant for eating, no?
So what can I do if they are all meant for eating? The sentence is not Samanadikaranam.
Swamiji, I think she's getting confused between sects.
I know.
Tell na Sunita, between...
Sunita, explain it to her.
All the lists in the shopping items which pertain to eating, like upma, etc., that Swamiji mentioned, they are all eatables. And that's a sect. And that's a different theory. That's a sect theory. What Swamiji is referring to, where each word has a distinct meaning, but it points to the same object, which is why big, blue, fragrant lotus. Big can be big mosquito, big elephant. It's like...
Yeah. Blue, it can be white.
But in this case, in big, blue, fragrant lotus, they all refer to one object, which is the lotus.
Yeah, this is slightly more clear, but I understand.
That's why I said a list and Samanadikaranam are two different things. I've been saying that right from the beginning. Samanadikaranam refers to one and the same object, and that object has to be mentioned in the same sentence. Whereas what you want for breakfast is not mentioned in the same sentence.
Hence in the menu it's different.
Yeah, otherwise the menu card should be a Samanadikaranam.
Only one item.
Yeah, only one item, then there are not different words. There is only one word. It's like going to idli house, all that you will get is idli. But then there are no different words.
Swamiji, how do we use Samanikara? Means I'm not connecting it with Tattvamasi. So when you are
Once again,
using
Tattvamasi, relax. Tattvamasi ke liye aa jayega abhi. You are still stuck at Samanadikaranam and Visheshna Vishesha Bhava. So let me clarify that first.
Yeah. I can't stretch it and the example and what...
Yeah, I will come to that. Sunita, I'll come to that. Sashi, what is the difference between the list of vada, upma, idli and big blue fragrant lotus? What is the difference between the two sentences?
See, lot of different... lotus cannot be eaten as it is.
You're still stuck on... Hey, आज breakfast नहीं खाया क्या? You're still stuck on eaten. Look at the structure of the sentence. This is a big blue fragrant lotus. and look at this idli, vada, sambar, upma.
Yeah.
What is the difference between the two sentences? Tell me that. What is the difference between these two sentences? Is there a difference between the two sentences?
मुझे नहीं लग रहा है difference.
नहीं है.
Swami ji, this list
एक ही वस्तु है.
Will somebody explain to her?
वस्तु एक ही है शशि जी.
idli, upma, etc.
You know why you are not getting it, Sashi? I'll tell you why you are not getting it.
Yes, sir.
Because you are stuck on.
Swamiji, may I say, I think he means all these and food stuff.
Nita Ben, relax, relax. Why you are not getting it is because you are stuck on one model in your mind. That is, all these are meant for eating, therefore they should be Samananda Karnyam.
Yes.
Ah.
My doubt is very clear to this.
Your doubt is clear now. Now, look back to the definition of Samananda Karnyam. Different words in a sentence having different meanings
Yes, sir.
refers to one and the same object that is mentioned in the sentence. Now tell me.
I got it, sir.
Now you got it.
Yeah.
Breakfast is mentioned in the sentence
No, sir.
because you are just ordering, na?
Yes.
When you order on Zomato or wherever, does the Zomato character know that you are going to have it for breakfast, lunch or dinner? No, no.
No, sir.
So the breakfast part which you have in your mind, which you are stuck with in your mind, is not anywhere in the sentence.
Yeah, it is in my mind only.
That is why.
Not there in this sentence.
Therefore you are listening to Vedanta with all your ideas in your mind.
So what to do with those ideas?
Drop it when you are listening. Simple.
I said drop.
When you are listening, drop it. After that, you can get back and now check up. But you are listening with the ideas in your mind. But they are breakfast now. But breakfast now. That's why I asked you, breakfast khaye ke nahi khaye? Because the first time when I was fasting, first day when I in my life, the first time I tried to fast, miss my lunch. Breakfast I had, lunch I will miss, tea time I'll have something. But from lunch to tea time, I was only thinking of food. That's why I'm saying breakfast kya nahi asked. My experience, what to do? Yes, Sundar, you are saying something.
Swamiji, if I make a sentence like Swami Brahmavidamanda ji, Swami Paramarthananda ji, Swami and Swami Shuddha Bodhananda ji, are all excellent Vedanta teachers. Is it?
There is Samananda Karnyam because they all refer to teachers.
Yeah.
Tatparya is in teachers and all three are teachers. Visheshna Vishesha Bhava is there, all of them are teachers. The word teachers qualify everything.
Straight away. And then
But they are nouns, no?
Lakshatya Bhava, etc. Straightforward.
Now go and study your basic grammar and come back.
But they are nouns, no, Swamiji?
I'll have to start with 4th standard English grammar. Really. Can I make a noun out of big? Big is an adjective. Sunita Savla, is big an adjective or not?
Yes.
Can I make a noun out of it? सोचना पड़ता है. If those of you, because there are a lot of ladies, I am giving the example, who have seen Sex and the City, the serial and the movie Sex and the City, is there one Mr. Big there or not there?
Mr. Big is the answer.
None हो गया क्या नहीं हो गया? I am not giving Vedanta examples for the time being. Okay. Mr. Big. Even though, when he says they are all good Vedanta teachers, okay, they are all Vedanta teachers, when he is saying, it is referring to a function, even though it is a noun. Sometimes a noun is used in the sense of a function. Sometimes an adjective is used in the sense of the noun. Beg your pardon? Nandakishore said something. What is?
Internal.
Swamiji, mute now everybody.
Swamiji.
Yeah, Nandakishore, tell me.
See, it is a blue is an adjective, right?
Yeah.
I am saying blue is a color.
Yeah.
In this sentence,
Correct. So it's a noun and an adjective both. Yeah.
that is what.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So adjective can be a noun also sometimes.
Yeah. It depends upon the context and the usage.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying also basic English grammar. Which reminds me, when I start a course, I will ensure that people are thorough with their grammar. Not only Sanskrit grammar, also English grammar. Okay. I mean, we always pick up, you refine your teaching methods after that when you interact with a lot of students. This is one of the refining I'll have to do. Not your fault. I have to do that refining. Okay. So, now, Visheshna Vishesha Bhava, adjectival relationships will come into the picture only when they are all referring to the same object.
Yeah.
Now, to throw some more light on Sashi's example of breakfast, okay, is breakfast defined by idli?
Sometimes yes.
Tell me, how will idli become an adjective for breakfast? How will upma become an adjective for breakfast?
So, Swamiji, like in a restaurant, if you say breakfast items, right, and they show idli, upma in that.
So then it becomes a list, very clear, no? It is not an adjectival relationship, it's only a list. Breakfast items, pura list dikhaya. They are not defining each other. There's only a list of breakfast items available here in this restaurant. So it makes it a list, very clear. No adjectival relationship. Are you getting the idea, Sashi?
Yeah, I'm trying to get so very hard. So idli, I have to turn it into an adjective.
How will you turn idli into an adjective?
That's what I am trying.
You cannot.
Cannot.
You can turn idli into idli fry. You can turn idli into chili idli. You can turn idli into cheese chili idli.
Can even turn it into idli upma.
Into idli upma. You can turn it into idli Manchurian. But you can't turn idli into an adjective, can you?
I mean, in a sense, Swamiji, when you say idli upma, idli almost becomes like an adjective.
Qualifier.
Yeah. It is idli serving a different function. Then you'll have to see Swaswarupa Parityagena Rupantarapatti or Swaswarupa Aparityagena Rupantarapatti. Is it a vikara or a vivarta? Whoever is going to listen to the video of this class is going to wonder, "Ye kya ho raha hai class mein?"
I'm seriously hungry because I didn't eat breakfast today.
It became a breakfast class. Therefore, at the most, you can make it a list of breakfast items. As Karthik said, maximum. That's all. It's a list. Therefore, there is no samanadikarne. Idli, upma, we'll have to now categorize either Vikara or Vivarta. We have to see.
So Swamiji, can I please ask one question related to that? So again, just continuing on this, breakfast example. So I go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I ask, the waiter comes and I tell him, okay, what do you have for breakfast? And he rattles off idli, dosa, upma.
Yeah.
I mean, even though they're all entirely different words, in the context of that conversation, there is a samanadhikaran.
No, because they're not defining one another. It's a list of breakfast items. It's a list. He's giving you a list of breakfast items.
But in this context, in this context, they serve the common purpose of breakfast. I mean, I guess that's where I'm going.
That is set, no? But
That's a set, na? What are the things I can eat for breakfast?
But Swamiji,
It becomes a set of things that you can eat for breakfast.
Swamiji, can I say something? I think Tatparyam is also taken to be purpose, whereas here it is not purpose.
No. Tatparyam is intention.
Confusion is
Tatparyam is intention. Anusha speaking, na? Tatparyam is intention, and that here the intention is to define an object. The intention is not what you are doing with it. Now here I will have to bring in, it's a good Purvapaksha. That way we are putting, the way Anusha has put it, is a good Purvapaksha. Now, is it Vastu Paravakyam or Karma Paravakyam? We will have to look into it.
Karma para.
Karma Para?
Vastu.
Eating, no?
Eating is Karma Para. And if it is Karma Para, you are right, Bhushan. If it is Karma Para, what is Vedanta, Karma Para or Vastu Para?
Vastu.
Vedanta is dealing with karma or reality?
Reality.
Sure?
Yes.
Sunita Savla seems to have a doubt.
No, Swamiji, I was stuck with the Sundar's example also, then that is a list only, na, for the teachers. Like these are the list.
Correct. Now you are jumping into what Bhushan has said. You are not answering what I have asked.
No, that was in my mind before. I didn't see Bhushan's comment, but yeah. Sorry.
You know,
I have
you're all of you, your focus requires more focus. I would strongly advise all of you to do some japa dhyanam. Barabar karo roj. Do tratak if you are doing yoga every day. You are right, Bhushan. In a way, even Sundar's example is a list of Vedanta teachers. It's not really Samanadhikaranyam.
But in that list, Swamiji, the word excellent is qualifying teacher.
Yeah.
The noun there is teacher.
So that's why.
So excellent and Vedanta qualify teacher.
Yeah. And therefore, excellent Vedanta teacher can qualify all the three. So that way it is Samanadhikaranyam.
Breakfast also can be like idli, vada, pongal are excellent breakfast dishes.
Because it's a breakfast dish, this is a category. It is not a qualification. It's a categorization. So the Sundar's example becomes a grey area.
Yeah, that's why.
Whereas breakfast is very clear, it's a list.
Correct. We're getting confused because
Yeah.
of that slightly grey example.
Yeah, it's a slightly grey example.
Yeah.
That's the maximum you can come to that. Yeah. Sundar's example is a maximum that a list can come towards Samanadhikaranyam. But the other thing is purely list. Breakfast items, purely list. No? I mean, you're clarifying it by saying breakfast items, you're clarifying it's a list. It's a set or a list. I said it's a list in a simple manner. If you are saying set, then you will have to say in the set of all eatable items, these are breakfast items. But there also is open to question. A South Indian I have seen, much to my surprise, when I used to have the Sunday morning, early morning class at Mani's, at Matunga, and after that go to Mani's for breakfast. Okay? Before I come to the Bandra class. South Indians will go and order puri bhaji for breakfast. I thought puri bhaji was a lunch item, no? Or dinner item. Since when did puri bhaji become breakfast item? Who is to decide?
For South Indians it is.
The eater has to decide, no? Who is to decide? When we used to have the Guru Purnama celebrations in NSCI, because as Nandu and Kamini would organize that with Manisha's help, okay, they would serve pasta at breakfast because there was a breakfast buffet and there used to be pasta also. Yaad hai na sabko? Those who have come there for the Guru Purnima. Since when did pasta become a breakfast item? Who decides? The eater decides. Or who decides? The eater has to decide, no? That's why you can say here this is the breakfast item. Therefore the list becomes very, very specific. That's why that listing word I use because of that, because very clear it's a list. I say it. Therefore, in a list, there is no Samanadhikarnyam, and because there is no Samanadhikarnyam in a list, there will be no Visheshna Vishesha Bhava. But if it is a Samanadhikarnyam sentence, there will definitely be Visheshna Vishesha Bhava. Clear up to now? Then, in a sentence, where will you go for Lakshana? In a sentence which has Samanadhikarnyam, the only way it can go into, you can refer to Lakshana is when Visheshna Vishesha Bhava is not tenable. It should be there but it's not working out. That's why I gave that example, Soham Devadatta. That Devadatta that you knew in Bombay as a naval officer is the same Devadatta that is standing in front of you as a sadhu. There is Samanadhikarnyam, but sadhu and naval datta cannot qualify each other. Or even another sentence. Okay. The cowherds village on the Ganga, Gangayam Goshaha. There is Samanadhikarnyam. But on the Ganga, on the water, how can you have a village? You can have a boat, not a village. So it is not tenable. All of them are adjectives to Gosha. Where the Gosha plays this, that, etc. becomes adjective to that village. Or red is running. Red is a color, it cannot run. So you need something else to make it complete. Therefore, Jaha Lakshana, Ajaha Lakshana, all that will come into the picture. Lakshana Vakya will come into the picture either when Visheshna Vishesha Bhava. If, now listen to this very, very carefully. If there is Samanadhikarnyam and Visheshna Vishesha Bhava is not working, you have to bring in Lakshana. In an ordinary sentence, even if the meaning is not working, you can bring in Lakshana. Red is running. So ordinary sentence, na? Red is running. Beard is talking. Where is your ashram? On the Ganga. अच्छा शिप में बनाया आश्रम हो सकता है ना. Yeah, someone gives me a ship, I'll anchor it off Bandra coast and make an ashram out of it. Why not? Something unique. So, in an ordinary sentence, when the word doesn't make sense, you can use for this thing. Yeah. Is this much clear? Think, how is that adjectival relationship working? I want you all to think about that. That is why compare Soham Devadatta to big blue fragrant lotus. Here is a big blue fragrant lotus. Is the difference very clear to you? Both are Samanadikarnyam. Both the sentences are Samanadikarnyam. Saha and Aham are referring to Devadatta. Big blue fragrant is referring to lotus. Samanadikarnyam is there. In one place it works, in the other place is not working. Why is it not working? Because the sadhu cannot be the naval officer cannot be sadhu. The qualifications are different, the qualities are different. Sunita, is that clear? Or not clear?
Yes. Yes.
नहीं है तो पूछ लो. Let us lay all doubts to rest right now.
Just repeat the last part, na Swamiji. I will
You all are distracted because you all are at home. Yes, I know. Yeah. I don't know how you all will learn Tarka online. I don't think I'm going to do it online. Yeah. Now look at it. What is the difference between the sentence big blue fragrant lotus and Soham Devadatta? Both have Samanadikarnyam or don't have Samanadikarnyam? Does Soham Devadatta have Samanadikarnyam?
They are different names belonging to the same person.
Referring to one and the same thing. Correct.
Yeah.
So Samanadikarnyam is there. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. In big blue fragrant lotus, is the meaning very clear?
Yes.
Why?
Everything, all the adjectives are describing lotus, one thing.
Therefore it fits.
Yes.
In Soham Devadatta, the naval officer is supposed to become the qualification of the sadhu, or the sadhu is supposed to become the description of the naval officer? Is it possible?
No.
But it is there according to Samanadikarnyam.
No. No.
No? According to Samanadikarnyam it is not there?
According to Samanadikaram, there should be there,
But it is not tenable. Exactly. It is not working out. It is not possible. Correct?
yes.
हाँ. Therefore we go for Lakshana Vakya. अभी क्लियर हो गया?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we also saw last time that Jaha Lakshana was not applicable. Because in Jaha what happens in Jaha Lakshana? Come on, someone from the class tell me, what happens in Jaha Lakshana?
Yeah, we have to give up something.
Give up what? Give me an example. The example of this is good enough. What we use in the text.
Give up something. For example, when I say Tattva-masi, I have to give up.
Forget Tattvamasi. I am talking only of Jaha Lakshana. Tattvamasi is not coming into the picture as far as Jaha Lakshana is concerned. You know, क्या confuse करके बैठा है? What all have you confused up? I don't know.
Acha, Jaya Lakshana, okay.
I mean, are you listening to my class or something else? Or have you been reading up on Tattvamasi from 10 different people and making a Bhelpuri out of it?
Not at all.
Because that can happen.
No.
Each person has maybe a slightly different style of explaining, and you try to put all styles together and make a Bhelpuri out of it. Bhelpuri may be good for eating, but in Vedanta it won't work. Sashi, stop reading so much and start thinking more. Yeah. Clear cut, I am telling you.
Okay.
Jahal Lakshana example, please.
Swamiji lives on
I
11th road.
stay on the 5th road.
Okay. Whichever road, some
I
road.
stay on the
Okay. Yeah. Some road I stay on. Okay. So naturally, I'm not staying on the road. I'm staying on a flat that is there in the building on the road. So the literal meaning is given up, something is brought in. Clear?
Yes.
So if I am going to apply it for Tattvamasi now, if I am applying it for Tattvamasi, what will be given up from Tat? Tat will be given up and an associate. Look at it. Road was given up, associated word was brought in. If Tat is given up, what word can be brought in? Forget, don't give up Tat. Give up Tvam. If Tvam is given up, what word can be brought in?
Shariratrayam.
Huh?
Shariratrayam you give up. Then only you will be able to come to that.
Is that Jahal Lakshana?
No. It's not that.
Why are you all jumping? Why are you all jumping here and there? Now you will see how people are getting confused. You will confuse yourself in the process. Don't jump.
You have to bring in some other individual.
Exactly. So Jahal Lakshana means a word is given up, something else is brought in. That is not applicable here. With Tattvamasi, that is not applicable. Since Jahal Lakshana is not applicable, the writer is saying, okay, maybe we should try Ajahal Lakshana without giving up. Okay. Ready to go ahead? Clear hai abhi tak?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very clear.
Yes.
Be ready for some homework afterwards, okay?
Yeah.
After I finish this Tattvamasi Vichara, we'll have a homework done properly. Because I thought this class was ready for some higher texts. That time itself I was thinking, I may have to keep that higher text by invitation and do something else for the other people in the class. Okay? Because there are some new people also who joined who have not studied Brahma Sutras, etc. Therefore, higher text may be different for them, will confuse them. Tarka is okay, because Tarka is an independent topic, therefore that's fine. You can always study Tarka. But after that, if I am going to do any other text, it will become confusing. Okay. So, and that will not have an online option except for those people who are outside the town. Yeah. Yeah. Within town, no option of online. Out of town, I'll give you an online option. For there are one or two people who can attend. Now, if you tell me I'm staying far, etc., what can I do about it? If you are staying far, I'm giving the class at Bandra. I am also staying far from Bandra. Someone from Kemp's Corner can reach Bandra in the same time I will take to reach Bandra. Someone from Borivali also on a Sunday can reach Bandra same time. That's why I'm keeping it at Bandra. I'm fair. You travel, I travel. But people are used to too much of comfort. I go all the way up to Nepean Sea Road and take a class. They can come from home 5 minutes. So it's time people got out of that comfort zone. If they want to study further, otherwise fine. I'll have an online option where everyone who cannot come offline, all of you attend only that online option. Don't say you are not being cautioned about it. Okay. Then he is giving an example of Ajahal Lakshana and seeing whether Ajahal Lakshana will work here. Okay. So 163rd we saw last time. Correct? Did we see 163 last time?
Yeah.
How Jahal Lakshana is not tenable for Tattvamasi? Okay. Then Atra Shono Dhavati iti Vakyavad Jahal Lakshana api na sambhavati. Ajahal Lakshana api na sambhavati. Sorry. Iti vad Ajahal Lakshana api na sambhavati. Shveno Dhavati. Shono Dhavati. Okay. the red is running. If you hear a sentence like that, red is running, you look around, you see a lady in a kurta with the red color all running. They mixed up with all the other colors. Red is running. Correct, eh? Why should always be a red dog running? How many of you have seen a red dog anyway? Because Lakshana Vakya, na? Red is going very fast. The red colored car is going very fast. Where, without giving up the meaning of the word, you are adding something to make it meaningful. Red is running very fast. Red color or car is running very fast. You brought in the word car associated with the red color in the given experience. Remember, in the given context. It cannot be out of context. Supposing I say, red is visible in the evening. For the next 1 month, red will be visible to the naked eye in the evening. How will you make sense out of it?
Planet Mars.
The planet Mars. Therefore, the red colored planet Mars is visible in the evening. Can you see where you will use Ajaha Lakshana? Sometimes even with Ajaha Lakshana, okay, you may have to interpret further. That's okay. I don't want to confuse you all further, but okay. For the time being, let us leave it this much. Okay. But he says that is also not applicable for Tattvamasi. Why is it not applicable here? Tatra Shona Guna Gamana Lakshanasya Vakyartasya Viruddhatvad Tad Aparityagena Tad Ashraya Ashwadi Lakshanaya Tad Viroda Parihara Sambhavad Ajaha Lakshanaha Sambhavati. Okay. He says Tatra Shona Guna Gamana Lakshanasya. The Gamanam, the running of the red color, Vakyartasya Viruddhatvat. You don't see a color running by itself. Unless I punt on the word color and I use a double implication by giving red color is running in the kurta. Since you don't see the red color running, Viruddhatvad Tad Aparityagena. Tad Pada, the red color, the word referring to the red color, Aparityagena, without giving it up. Tad Ashraya. What that red is based on. Red is a quality. It has to belong to some locus. That locus, Ashwadi Lakshanaya. Horse, etc. By Lakshana. Tad Viroda Pariharta Sambhavad. There, that meaning the red cannot run. Therefore, you bring in the word horse to make the sentence complete. The contradiction in the sentence is taken care of, and you say red running meaning red horse is running. Okay. Therefore, there Jaha Lakshana Sambhavati. Ajaha Lakshana Sambhavati. There it is proper to use Ajaha Lakshana. Then why are you saying it is improper here? Here. Atra tu. Here. Parokshatva Aparokshatvadi Vishishta Chaitanya Ekattvasya Vakyartasya. Paroksha Vishishta Chaitanyam. What is that? The Chaitanya that is qualified by Parokshatvam, by being away from you. What is that?
Ishvara.
Ishvara Tatpada. And Aparakshvadi Vishishta Chaitanyasya. Chaitanya that is qualified by Aparokshatvam, immediacy. What is that? Tvam, you, I.
Jiva.
ekasya vakyartasya is in one sentence. Viruddhatvad, because they cannot be adjectives of each other. Tad aparityagena, without giving it up. Tad sambandhinaha yasya kasyachid arthasya, without giving it up by some meaning, some association. Lakshitve api Tat Tvamasi was told to whom? Shvetaketu. All right, let us give up Shvetaketu. But not completely give up Shvetaketu, but something connected to Shvetaketu let us bring in. Shvetaketu's girlfriend, his fiancée you are bringing in. Does the meaning become tenable? Tattvamasi is not to Shvetaketu, it is to his girlfriend. Does the meaning change? Why am I seeing blank faces? Yes or no?
Jivas, no, but they are different people.
Why does the meaning not become tenable? Because the contradiction of aparoksham and paroksham is still there. That doesn't go. Are you getting the idea?
Yes.
Because whether Shvetaketu or his fiancée, both are aparokshaha.
Yes.
That contradiction doesn't go. Similarly, instead of Ishvara, let me bring in Maya Shakti. Does it change anything?
No.
Because Maya Shaktivan is Ishvara. Then by association, let us bring in something. What will you bring in? Let me bring in Akasha. Then you won't get any meaning. Let me bring in Shunya. Why? Why will not make sense? Why will it not make sense?
Aparoksha.
Because they are all aparoksha vastu. They are not paroksha vastu. Ishvara is paroksha. Now Sashi is thinking, hey, Ishvara paroksha kabhi se bana? Think. Therefore, tad viruddha parihara asambhavad. Therefore, the contradiction will still remain. Whatever you bring in for tvam and tat, contradiction of paroksham, aparoksham, sarva shaktiman, alpa shaktiman, sarvajnaha, alpajnaha, these contradictions will always remain. Therefore, ajaha lakshana na sambhavati. Therefore, ajaha lakshana is not tenable. Have you understood this much clear? Why ajaha lakshana is not applicable? नहीं तो पूछ लो. Huh?
Once more, please.
What is that?
Once more, please.
हाँ बोलो. I don't mind explaining 100 times. That's okay. Now, in ajaha lakshana, you don't give up the word, but you bring in something associated with the word that will make the meaning clear. Red is running, red cannot run, therefore red horse is running. Now it makes sense. Therefore, without giving up the red, you brought in the word horse. Whereas, where is your ashram? On the Ganga, the word Ganga is given up, the banks which is associated is brought in. So the word is given up. Whereas, the water of the Ganga is given up, the banks of the river is brought in. Associated. It has to be associated. When you say on the Ganga, in Jaha Lakshana, oh, it must be on Yamuna. You can't bring in like that. Okay. It has to be associated meaning. So similarly, red is running. Without giving up the word red, you brought in horse. Now, in Tattvamasi or Soham Devadatta, either one of them. Okay. All right. Let me explain with Soham Devadatta first, it may be easier. Saha refers to naval officer. I am refers to sadhu. Okay. Now, give up the meaning of naval officer. What associated meaning can you bring in? A ship? The port? All associated, no? We bring in his rank. That is associated. Okay? So without giving up the naval officer, you will say Lieutenant Commander so and so. Is this sadhu?
Estela?
Does it make any difference to the sentence? Is the contradictions taken care of?
No.
Similarly, in Tattvamasi, from Tat, you add something associated. Will it make sense? Don't give up the meaning of Tat, okay? Tat remains, Ishvara remains. Sarvajnaha Ishvaraha Tvamasi. Does it add to any meaning? Sarva Vyapi Ishvara Tvamasi. In fact, it makes the contradiction more clear. And to Tvam, or all right, leave Ishvara alone. Deal with Tvam. Bhakta Shetu Tatasi. Make any sense? Contradictions become more clear. More. Contradictions become more, not less. If you're saying Bhakta or any other, this thing you add, anything associated with Shetiketu. Uddhalaka Putra Shvetiketu. Associated, na, you're bringing in. It won't work. Is this much clear? Ajaha Lakshana will not work because whatever you bring in, the contradictions between Tat and Tvam will remain. The contradiction between the naval officer and the sadhu will remain. Clear, hai?
Swamiji, when we say the car is running,
Huh?
when we say the red is running.
One second, red is running is Jaha Lakshana. We are dealing with Ajaha Lakshana now. Red car is running. Sorry. You are right. Ajaha Lakshana. Red car is running. Yes. Yeah. You have brought something associated and making sense out of it. Correct.
Yeah. So when I say the red is running, then we have to bring in the car.
Yeah. Without giving up the meaning of the word red, something that red is based on is we have brought in.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a sentence.
Correct.
When we talk about Tattvamasi, we are talking about a relationship between two things we are trying to establish. No, I'm getting stuck there, Swamiji.
What is Tattvamasi trying to do?
It is trying to tell that the jiva and
Simple. Samanadikarnyam. Tattvamasi Samanadikarnyam. So what does Samanadikarnyam do? What is the intention of Samanadikarnyam?
different things said about the same.
Intention of go back to definition. Different words having different meanings.
Talking about the same thing.
Now Tattvamasi has got Samanadikarnyam. So you should be talking about one and the same entity.
Yes.
But here, if it is in Samanadikarnyam, there is an adjectival relationship. Can Tat become an adjective to Tvam? Can Ishvara become an adjective to Jiva?
No.
Can Jiva become an adjective to Ishvara?
No.
Doesn't make sense. Either way, Jiva will become finite. And Ishvara will also become finite.
Yes.
Therefore, we have to go for implication.
Yes.
An implication we saw before, Jaha Lakshana doesn't work. Now we are saying Ajaha Lakshana is not working. Because whatever you add to Tat and Tvam, it won't make any difference in the basic contradiction that is there.
Yes.
Clear? Finally. Good. I'm happy. Now I will see how clear it is when you all are explaining it. Because only if Tattvamasi is clear, the next sentence Aham Brahmasmi can be clear. Because the teacher says Tattvamasi, how do you receive it?
Aham Brahmasmi.
You don't say back to the teacher, Tattvamasi. Swamiji, very clear, Tattvamasi.
You are Ishvara.
Like someday, I do this in the camp very often. I do it in the camp very often because I know how important this is. Therefore, I told a student of mine, Swamiji, what are you doing in the camp? I said, Mahavakya. Oh yes, big blue fragrant lotus. And I said, Narayana, I am saying Mahavakya, she is going to a lotus. That lotus is only a small little example. But she has associated Mahavakya with big blue fragrant lotus. It's a good association, but if you are stuck with the lotus, you won't come to Ishvara. By the way, this camp, mostly I will do a new text that you will not have heard about called Vijnana Nauka. I will send you a PDF with the translation and everything by maybe Tuesday or so. Okay. All of you are registered, will get a link and a PDF, both. By Tuesday, Wednesday, you will get it. Okay. Wednesday mostly. First is Tuesday. Tuesday is this thing. Okay. Tuesday or Wednesday, you will get it. So, you have enough time to print out the Vijnana Nauka, etc. Okay. To print it out if you want to print it out or use it as a PDF. Okay. Anyway, now back to this. Jaha Lakshana, Ajaha Lakshana not applicable. Clear? All right. Then he goes further to say, he is giving a Purva Paksha to it. Are you all ready for the Purva Paksha or is it too heavy?
Ready.
Huh?
Ready.
Ready? Confused नहीं हो जाएगा. Where are the other students? This is why I want everyone to put on the videos and set so that I can see. Are you all ready to go further or you will be confused if I go further?
We are curious.
Anyway, even if you have to listen to it once or twice again, the video will be put up in a couple of days. Okay? Yeah. Because uploading takes time and I have to wait for a good connection, so I have to do it early morning or something like that. So tonight I will not be able to do. Monday morning probably I will be able to do, and then Anusha is to make it public. So first I will do the Gita, then I will do this. Okay? So, okay. 2 classes I upload. So by Tuesday or Wednesday you will get it. Before the next class, definitely you will have it. Okay. And anyway, next class is not there. We are having the camp next class. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let us see one small aspect of the puja. Nacha tat padam tvam padam va. Either tat padam or tvam padam. Swartha viruddhamsha parityagena ashantarahitam tvam padartham tat padartham va lakshatyataha. He is making a very creative interpretation. He says, take either tvam or tat. And whatever part of, let us take tvam. Whatever part of tvam is contradiction to tat, leave it. Jaha lakshanaya, leave it. Then the meaning should work. He says, katham prakarantarena bhaga lakshana ki karanam iti vachyam. Therefore, then you won't need any other lakshana. By what you call Jaha Lakshana itself, without breaking your head about another Lakshana Vakya. As it is, Jaha Lakshana, Ajaha Lakshana, both problem ho gaya. So, don't break your head with another Lakshana. By Jahan Lakshana, give up the contradictory part. Tvam is contradictory, na? Give up Tvam. Bring in Tat. Or give up Tat and replace it with Tvam. Meaning sentence meaning possible. Then you will get two versions of the sentence. Tat Tat Asi or Tvam Tvam Asi. Meaning is clear. Kim Prapta Maya, what have you understood out of that? This looks like Rajkumar's dialogue. There was an old actor. Is he still around? Those of you who are into movies? Is Rajkumar still alive or is he gone?
He's dead. He's dead.
He's gone, na? He's moved on. Okay. He used to say, Aap hai, hum hai. What type of a dialogue is that? What does it clarify? You are you, I am me. I know that. I don't want to be you also. वो भी है. Therefore, tat tasasi, tvam tomasi. What difference did it make to the meaning? Not only that, one thing, it doesn't make a difference to the meaning. Second is, how are you going to use it? How are you going to, with what Kapola did you think of this meaning? Why? Isn't it possible? Here, look at the next line. Ekena padena swarthamsham padantara antana bhagya trobhya lakshanaya asambhavad padantarena tat artha pratitav lakshanaya punah tat pratiti eva apekshaya abhavacha. By what implication are you saying the word tvam will refer to that, or the word that will refer to tvam? See, on Gangayam Gosha, when Jaha Lakshana was used, there is an association between the water of the Ganga and the banks of the Ganga. Therefore, you can give up the water and bring in the banks. In Ajaha Lakshana, since red cannot be running, you can bring in what is associated. Red horse is running. Correct? Because they are bringing in associated meanings. Now, Tat and Tvam are two opposites. You and me. That and you. Yushmad asmat pratyayoho viruddha gocharayoho. याद है कभी किया था? इतरे इतर भाव अनुपपत्तौ. Any of you remember where this sentence is from?
Adhyasa Bhashya.
Yeah, Adhyasa Bhashya, correct. Between you and that, between me and you, there cannot be any association. You are you, I am me. Therefore, how can Tvam Pada indicate Tat? So that you give up Tvam Pada and bring in Tat and say Tat Tatasi. Or how can Tat Pada indicate you and say remove Tat and put Tvam there and therefore say Tvam Tvamasi? How is it possible? By what logic? How do you bring in that? Red horse can be brought in by association. Banks of the Ganga can be brought in by association. But supposing I say, you are fat. Start laughing. Why? Give up you and bring in you. I. So the speaker is fat, not me. There is a logic. Or you are an excellent student. Replace student with teacher. Are these meanings possible? This is not Lakshana. This is madness. Therefore, the sentence and the working of the sentence does not allow for such type of replacements. Even if it allowed, it makes no sense. Because it makes no sense, it is not allowed. Because English grammar or Sanskrit grammar or any language grammar has to have some logic in it. No? Correct or not? Has to have some logic in it. Because if you start replacing meanings like this, they will make no sense. A word cannot give up itself and indicate the opposite. A word in giving up itself can bring in something associated, something relevant, and not opposite. Yeah, right. Typical Americanism. There it indicates opposite, isn't it? See, I know exceptions also. When the American says, yeah, right, he indicates it's all wrong. No, that is sarcasm. That's an entirely different figure of speech. Teaching does not involve sarcasm, unless he is making a joke out of it. Okay? Therefore, Tattvamasi is not a joke. It is not a sarcastic comment. It's a tool of teaching. It's an important sentence, meaningfully used when you are teaching something. Therefore, this is not possible. Since these type of things are not possible, what is the option left for you now? Swamiji, can it not be Gauna Prayoga? What is Gauna Prayoga? I am deliberately bringing in this argument to remind you of something we said earlier. भूल जाता है ना इसके लिए.
That King Richard the Lionheart.
Yeah, when you're calling King Richard the Lionheart, that is the example I used. Okay. Then what happens? It is used in a secondary sense. Cannot Tattvamasi be used in a secondary sense? It is praise of the Jiva. The Jiva is praised. Like how you say, you're a lion in battle. Yeah. You're compassion incarnate. So can it be used as praise of the Jiva? You are Ishvara, Baba. You are godlike. You say, you're Indra, Chandra, etc. You tell people. In Tamil, there are expressions like that. Na? Every language will have its own expression. Why can it not be like that?
Because ekasmin bimbe tatparyam is not happening there. Similarity is being happened.
Exactly. Ekasmin bimbe tatparyam will not happen. Only some similarity will happen. Good one. When she went back to the definition, that's how she got that answer. You are not referring to one and the same object. You are just making some praise. And what is the context of the whole Tattvamasi? Karya Karanayoho Abheda. The Karyam and the Karanam is one and the same. Cause and effect are one and the same. Gauna Prayoga does not refer to that. Secondary use of meanings will not give you that understanding. You remember all the examples that he had given. Uddalaka, when he was teaching, iron and instruments, gold and ornaments, clay and pots. A lot of examples like this he had given. Seed and tree. A lot of examples to show two things. Mithyatvam of the effect, and the content of the effect is nothing but the cause. So that cannot change. That is the context of the whole teaching. That context of the teaching cannot change. Yeah, there are times when the teacher will praise the student. Like in Viveka Chudamani, the student comes to a teacher to learn. Adi Devo Brahmeti. And the teacher says, Dhanyosi Kritakrityosi Pavanam Te Kulam Chaiva. You are blessed. You have done all that has to be done. Your family is blessed. This praise to show that he is on the right track. There it is appropriate. As long as the teacher is sure, ये चना का पेड़ पर नहीं चढ़ जाएगा, है ना. Typical Bombay expression for those who are not from Bombay, okay? That he will go to his head, the praise will go to his head. As long as the teacher is sure of that, he will do that praise. Appropriate. Tattvamasi is teaching, not praise. Praise will come under Arthavada. Arthavada is one of the tools used, not the main thing. Like for example, in the beginning, when Uddalaka asked, did you ask for that knowledge knowing which everything is known? There is Arthavada. You are not taking it literally. Here is not Arthavada, here it is teaching. The context has to be clear. Therefore, in the context, Gauna Prayoga is not feasible. Clear up to now? Yeah, Kamini, what is your doubt?
Yeah, no, I just, am I thinking clearly? Is that, see, that Tattvamasi is establishing a oneness. And here, when you're saying it's a praise, it will always be in Dvait, no?
Yeah, it will be in Dvaita. Not Dvait, Dvaita.
So
Sanskrit word, yeah.
So if the purpose is not...
Purpose is not served, exactly. Purpose will not be served. So now what are we left with? Bhagatyaga Lakshana. There is no other choice but to go for Bhagatyaga Lakshana. That we will do next class. Idna karne ke baad that will become very simple, don't worry. After having done so much, that will become very simple. But you have an onus of remembering all that. Don't worry, in the camp also you will get reminders of this, you will get in the camp also. Yeah. It would have been great if I finished few more verses before the camp, because in the camp very often it said Brahmaiva aham asmi, etc. So in that Vijnana Nauka it is said. That part I will handle in the camp, and we will handle it in more detail in Vedanta Sara. Therefore you will find it easier when you go into that. Okay. Either it could have been a reaffirmation or it is making it easier. Either way it works.
Then
Okay.
finally we will get moksha.
Yeah, finally, yes. Do you really have to get moksha? No, exactly.
You are.
Yeah, yeah. So good place to stop. Okay. So next weekend we'll meet in the camp. You know all the timings and everything, correct? All the timings and all have been sent to you. Okay. All the timings, all that. Only link and the text has to be sent. What I am doing, what Swami is doing, both of them will be sent. Okay. So see you all next weekend. Om Tat Sat.